So, welcome all the students of class 6 to the next part or the second part of the chapter, The Mysterious Visitor, Part 2. We all are here to do study, we all are here to read the chapter. Now, I know that you are very much curious to know that what had happened next. You all have witnessed an invisible man who was moving here and there, who was living with others as normal by having or tying bandage on the face, wearing gloves in the hand and hat on his head, and even having the false hair. And you can say the false nose too. Here you know that in the chapter there were Mrs. Hall, the visitor, and other members. It was a special day when everyone was enjoying, men and women who were wearing good or new clothes as to enjoy their 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 day. Now we are going to do the part 2. Here you can see the picture of Howard George Wells. Yes, the writer of the chapter, and the chapter is an extract from the novel An Invisible Man. Okay, and very lovingly we called him H.G. Wells, who became an author accidentally. The major part of his education was at the Normal School of Science in London. It was at this school that Wells came under the wing of the famous biologist Thomas H. Huxley. Wells' science fiction was clearly influenced by his education at the normal school and his interest in biology. Okay, like this, he became the member of the Society in Literature. Now, the part 2, The Mysterious Visitor. Okay, part 1 is quite clear to you, I have told you. Now, here, people come to arrest the mysterious visitor, but his strange secret allows him to resist, leading to a fight and general confusion. What was happened at last? Three persons were there here. They were coming there to arrest the visitor, the mysterious visitor. And who were they? Mr. Hall, the policeman, and Wedges. So now, moving to the chapter here. Hall was the first at visitor's room. So we have again started at the same place where we have left in part 1. In part 1 we were left when the three persons were moving towards the inn. Okay. So here Hall was the first at the visitor's room and he pushed the door open. Do what you must do, he said to Jeffers. He allowed a Jeffer to do. Okay, to do his duty. Then Jeffer walked in and then Hall with Wedgers last. They could see the body without a head in the candlelight. He had some food in his hand that he had robbed from the kitchen. That is the man, Hall said. Okay, they could see an invisible person in the candlelight, and the person was having some food that he have robbed, snatched, or taking away without permission from the kitchen. And Hall exclaimed, "That is the man." "What the devil is this?" said an angry sound coming from the above the shoulders of the man without a head. Okay, he said then. The invisible person said, "What the devil is this?" And he was really angry. And a sound was coming from above the shoulder of the man. Shoulder of the man because he was having no head. "You are a bad one," said Jaffers, "but head or no head, you are going to prison. You are a bad person. Either you are having or having head or not having head. You are going to prison." Keep away, said the visitor, jumping back. Keep away, okay? He put the food down and Hall lifted a sharp knife from the table. The visitor pulled off his left glove, throwing it into Jaffar's face. Jaffar's was holding him by an arm without a hand and was feeling for his invisible throat. The visitor kicked him in the leg. This made Jafar shout, but he did not let go of the man. Hall pushed the knife across the table to Wedgers. What had happened? He put the food down. He, who? The mysterious man. Hall lifted a sharp knife to make attack on him, and the visitor pulled off his left glove, and he throws it on Jaffar's face. And Jafar was holding him with an arm. Okay? He was not having hand. He, the visitor, but arm was in his capture. And he was feeling the throat, means he just hold him with the throat also. But the visitor also ready to save himself, and he kicked the Jaffers. And after just having a kick, he shouted. But he did not let go of the man. Hall pushed the knife across the table to Wedgers. Get his feet, said Jafar between his teeth. Hall tried to obey, but kicked in the ribs. Rib cage. Okay. Hall tried to obey, but was kicked in the ribs, making him lose his hold. And Wedgers, seeing the man with no head now on top of Jeffers on the floor, left in fear with a knife in his hand. He ran into Mr. Huckster, a store owner, and another man who were coming to help Jeffers. At the same time, 3 or 4 bottles were knocked from the desk, breaking and filling the room with a strong smell. Okay, so one of them is just going out of the room, having a knife in his hand. He ran to the Mr. Huckster, who was a store owner. Okay, and now they were coming to help Jeffers, and at the same time 3 or 4 bottles were knocked down, means were broken. And when the bottle were broken, sudden of a strange smell was there. The room was filled with the strange smell of something that is coming from the bottle. I'll stop, said the visitor, getting to his feet. He was breathing heavily and looked very strange. He was without a hat or hands. Wait, he was without a hat or hands. But now he had pulled off his other glove. It is no good, he said. Find it difficult to breathe. Sudden enough, he was in a worse condition. He was not able to breathe. And then he said, I'll stop. It is not good. It is no good. It is not good. He was not able to breathe as he was breathing heavily. Here in the picture you can see Mr. Hall, Jaffa and Wedgers, who were there to help him to caught the visitor. Okay. Now moving to the next paragraph. Here we are. It was strange to hear words coming from an empty space. But Sussex people were not easily surprised. Jeffers took out some handcuffs. Okay, but the people who were living there were not easily surprised. Then the Jeffer took out some handcuffs. I say, Jeffer said, remembering that the man had no hands, how can I use the handcuffs? Okay, how can I use this? He is not having hands. Now, The man was running his arm down his coat as his empty sleeve pointed to each button. It opened as if moved by a spirit. Then he was bending down and his shoes were coming loose. He asked them to stop and they stopped. And what was going on there then? Now, what he was just watching, that man was running his arm down his coat. You cannot see hands, you cannot see head, but someone is opening the button, someone is moving the hand, someone is moving just the sleeves of the coat. It means if you are going to imagine this, then you will see or you will feel that there is some spirit. There is something that is called spirit. Okay. Then it was bending down and his shoes were coming loose. Even shoes were coming loose. That is not a man at all, said Huckster. All it is empty clothes. Look, you can see inside his shirt through the neck as he bends over. Then he sum up. It is not a man, Huckster said. Nothing is there except of empty clothes. And when the mysterious visitor bent down as he was invisible, so they were able to see inside the shirt, and it was totally empty. Because at the neck there were the collar of the shirt, and it was round in shape. As you are wearing a shirt, it is round in shape or not? Check it. So in the same manner, it was empty and it was invisible, so you can see or you can peep or you can glance inside the shirt. He put out his hand, but it hit something in the middle of the air. Okay, now here he pulled his hand back with a cry of surprise. Do keep your finger out of my eye, said the invisible man. Okay, he pulled his hand back with a cry. Do keep your finger out of my eye, said the invisible man. I am all here. I am here. Head, hands, legs, eyes, and all other parts. Means I am just normal, having everything, having hands, having a leg, having head, having eyes. But I am invisible. Here, now, it is very difficult for me, but it is the truth. And it is no reason for me to be pushed in the eye by each stupid person in Epping. I mean, this is not good. This is not acceptable that everyone who is here is pushing in my eye. There were many others now in the room. Invisible? Did you at any time in the past hear of a thing like this? Asked Huckster. Now see how many were there. Many of the person were there present. Those who were on the road, they just came inside. And when he told that I am a normal person, I am having head, I am having hands, legs, eyes, and all other parts. Then Huckster cautions. Have you ever heard this before? Invisible? Have you seen? Then he said, I agree that it is strange, but it is no reason for policemen to take action against me. You have no reason to hit me in this way. Okay? He also given the reason that no matter whatever is there, I agree, I accept that whatever I am telling you and whatever you are watching me in such condition is strange condition. But it is wrong on your part that you are hitting me in such a bad way. Means you cannot hit me in this manner. You have no right to hit me in this manner. I have reason to take you to court and prison, said Jafar. Then on this statement, Jafar replied him, like I have reason means Jafar had reason to take him to the court. That reason is not because you are invisible, but because the priest's house was robbed this morning. The reason is not this, that you are invisible. The reason is that the house of the priest was robbed this morning. And it all points to you. Everything is pointing at you. You are the reason and you are to be blamed for the robbery. And what foolish talk, said the invisible man. How foolish you are talking. How I must take you in. But I must take you in. I will come, said the man, but no handcuffs. Okay, I'll take you there. But no handcuffs. I'm not going to be caught by the police through these handcuffs. I'm not ready to wear these handcuffs. Handcuffs are used by police to catch the thief. Okay, and they used to tie in the hands and lock it with the key, and they used to keep the key with themselves. So he was not ready to wear the handcuffs. But it is the rule, said Jafar. No handcuffs, said the man again. Now how is it possible for a police to catch the thief without the handcuffs? And the man who was invisible was not ready to wear the handcuffs. It is not for me to say, said Jafar. The invisible man collapsed into the chair and quickly pulled off his shoes, socks and pants. Then he jumped up and pulled off his coat. Okay. What he did? Now he understood that the Jafars will not let him go, or Jafars will definitely going to catch him, going to take him to the prison, and he will be arrested. What did he do? What did he do? He has decided to run away. The invisible man collapsed into the chair. Collapsed? Just sit fastly on the chair and quickly pulled off his shoes. Take out his shoes, socks and pants. If he is wearing something, then you can see him. Otherwise, he is totally invisible. If he is going to take out the shoes, if he is going to just pulled off his socks and pants, he is invisible. Then he jumped up and pulled off his coat also. And at the same time, Jafar understood the condition and he shouted, "Stop that!" Understanding now what was happening. He understood what he wanted to do. He understood his intention, that he is going to run away from there. He asked him to stop everything. Okay, now we will begin in the next video. Read this underline the difficult words, mark it, write down, and we will do the next part in the next video. Thank you and have a nice day.